So right now, we'll be inviting the moderator of the panel session, the person of Mr. Habib Salahuddin. He's the Occupational Safety, Health and Environment and Facilities Executive at Bearsdorf. He'll be the one to be inviting other panelists who will be answering the questions that you would have throughout the session today. So please, let's give him a round of applause. Thank you very much.
Sorry, please, no much introduction. The time is really fast spent, and I can see some of our leaders apparently have some other engagement for the day. So it's afternoon now. Good afternoon, everyone. I will just ride on the very existing protocol so that we don't waste too much of time again.
Hello.
The section that I've been asked to assist with is the
Hello.
panelist session. Okay, so we have a lot of great minds amongst us, and we just think we will not maximize the benefits of having all of these minds here without tapping from their wealth of experience, their wealth of knowledge, and all of the other aspects of their competencies. So, and it is on this note that very quickly I will be calling onto the stage a number of persons. I think we have 4 persons in total. It's a gender-balanced equation that we have done here. Because, I mean, the world is very much shifting to a very equitable society, and we also need to observe that protocol. So very quickly, I'll be calling on to the stage none other than the QHSES manager of Mekong Group, Mrs. Olayin Kalabi. Let's put our hands together for her, please. Thank you very much. Second in line is the managing director of Aquila Solutions, Ambassador Comfort Hepe. Thank you very much. Let's put our hands together for her, please. Okay, followed by, I don't know where he's seated at the moment. I think we should still have him in the hall. The MD of HSC Nation, is he still around? Mr. Femi Da Silva, do we still have him around? Okay. The last on my list is the country HSC manager, Promasido Nigeria, Mr. David Adeoye. A round of applause for him, please. Okay, so as we have Mr. Adeoye take his seat, we are going to proceed very quickly. Quite a number of questions that participants both online and also in this hall have asked, cutting across the different conversations that had happened today. Let's put our hands together for the presenters, from Mr. Dapo Molade to Dr. Titilola Hamid to Madam Larayeku. They have done really fantastic work today, and I believe that every single one of us here must have learned one or two that will definitely be able to incorporate into our various organizations and also into our personal lives. Okay, so, hello, microphone. Okay, so very quickly, I heard I'd like to apologize to all of those that have asked these questions. We really take all of the questions important, but because of time, we probably will not be able to take all of the questions. We are only going to address the very strategic one that I think we will all be able to benefit from very strongly. Okay, we are going to be starting with Mr. David Adeoye. So, Mr. David, a lot has been said today, really. Taking a cue from what Madam Monica had presented to us around enterprise risk management, and we all know for sure, especially the fact that we work in diverse industries, organizations. We have seen what happens in the workplace, and truly it is beyond the theory of NEBOSH, of ISPON, and every other certification that we probably would have done. When you get to the field itself, you get to see what it actually takes. So there's a question here that says, how do you manage conflicting risk in risk management? I'm asking you this because I know you've been everywhere. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that question. So
How I understand, how I understand that question is this, right? And I'll give an example. So we have different types of risk. We have the security risk. We have the health and safety risk, right? So the security person is interested in ensuring that assets are protected. So if there's a room, right, his own is access control to prevent things from going out. But in the case of an incident, a fire incident, the safety person is considering how to get people out safely, right? So how do you manage that in that context? So I guess that's what the question is asking, okay? I'm not an enterprise risk management expert, but it's clear that if the business itself has clear policies when it comes to things like that, they would be able to solve issues that come up in that kind of conflicting situation, right? So I think looking at it holistically would be the best way to solve those conflicts when it comes to risk management, basically. That's my own thought on that.
Thank you very much, Mr. David. Mrs. Olayinka, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. That's a nice word. In fact, when you asked the question, I was like, what are you trying to, get at? As I said this, something occurred to me, My company is such that we have quality, health, like my designation is quality, health, safety, security, and environment manager. So it's quite long. So, there's always this loggerheads that, we quality people, we HSA people, we security. I think one of the major things, as you said, is the policy. Then communication is very key. Then another thing we can do is to simulate situations before they happen. Like when you have drills, certain things help to, clarify things and help people to know that this is your role, responsibilities. And that's where people like Lara will come in. Job description, KPIs, and all that will have to be well managed. Let everybody sit down. Let them have a good meeting, join appraisers and all those things, and know their job descriptions and know what is expected so that there won't be conflicts when we have situations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please give the microphone to Ambassador Comfort. So very quickly, Ambassador Comfort, somebody here wants to know what are the things to be in place before setting up a food outlet in a local area, safety-wise.
Okay. What you need to do before setting up a food outlet in a local area. First of all, you need to come for consultation. All right, that was on a lighter note. However, what you can do on your own, you need to have a business plan in place, a very simple business plan, and do what we call SWOT analysis. This will tell you what are the risks of your business, what are the opportunities, what are the threats, what are the requirements. It may look like a very technical word, but it's something that every business owner has to do. So you must go to every regulator. Example, we have a Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Health at the local level. Fire safety, they will come to you. All of these people will come to you because they have requirements for food business premises. Before you even go to them, you must understand the equipment you will need, the personnel you will need, the water, the quality of water you want to use to produce your food, the people that will cook for you and serve your customers, are they healthy? I asked somebody some days ago that had typhoid. I said, do you know why you had typhoid fever? He said, no. I said, okay, you just ate human feces. You ate food or you drank water that contain poo-poo. Yeah? That's why you have typhoid. So there are a lot of things, but the very common is you need to know those requirements. And hygiene is very key in food business. Hygiene, the health of the food handlers, the equipment to be used, and the place you want to prepare the food. Is it fit for food preparation or production. If it's not fit, please change the facility to another place, because the first thing the regulator will do when they come is to check if the place is fit for food production. Example, in December, there's a trending video of NAFDAC personnel going to some factory. Sorry to use the word factory, those were not factories. They are kiosks that people converted to factory, and they were producing beverages for human consumption. Now you need to see that environment. So if your environment is like what is there, it is not, first of all, fit for food preparation or production. Because food, please, food is a public health issue. So if you want to prepare food for the public, you must consider the health and safety of the public who will consume your food, and the safety and health of the food handlers who will be producing the food with you. Then it's very broad, but in a very simple way, it can be done. So always remember the law, always remember the consumers of your food, remember to have the equipment in place, remember where to make the food, and then where you will be buying the raw materials from. That will be all for now. It's not a 1-minute topic, but also ensure you, as the person in charge of a food premises, you are trained on the basic food safety and hygiene. Very key. If you have not been trained, please do not start preparing food for the public. Otherwise, you might go to jail and you may kill people. That'll be all for now.
Thank you.
For further information, I'm available. Pro bono, pet. Thank you.
Thank you. Microphone to Mr. Doye. Thank you very much, Ambassador Comfort. And if you forgot any of all what she had mentioned, don't forget that food business, just like every other business, starts with identifying what your strengths, your weakness, your opportunity, and also your strength are. On that note, we'll be going to this question very quickly. Somebody had asked, with all of the professionals we have in Nigeria politics, what has been their impact? But I try to quickly rephrase this question to give it some bit of context. Because I listened to our daddy in the house. I call him daddy because he's a father to all of us here. And one thing I've known him for is the fact that he supports the cause of safety everywhere that he goes. And we have just seen that evident in what he has just done for Walu and the planning team today. I rephrased it as the OSH Act is super important for health and safety practice. Just like he mentioned, Dr. Titi Lola Hamid also mentioned the fact that the bill for occupational safety and health would have been passed before now, but at some point, the outgoing legislator decided not to do anything about it. Now we know that this bill being passed into acts is super important for not just the professionals, but also the practice of health and safety in workplace. What do we need to do as professionals to get the attention of these politicians? The truth is, if we wait for politicians, it may not come alive. It may not come to fruition. So what do we need to do as professionals to make this OSH Act come to life? Thank you.
Okay, that's a very complex question, right? So, I know we've been trying to get the attention of the politicians for decades now, but I would mention, or rather reiterate what Baba said. We have to get involved in politics. You understand? I think in my own opinion, that's what we need to do, because it's important that whoever is actually championing it understands the risks in not actually having those laws passed, right? So we've been doing the same thing over and over and getting the same results. We probably need to change our strategy, and that would involve actually getting involved in politics actively. I'm not going to get involved with politics personally, but I can definitely support whoever wants to go into politics. That's my opinion on that.
I was going to ask why, because you look like a politician.
Looks can be deceiving.
All right, other members of the panel, do you want to add any other thing on this particular question? Okay.
I don't have it. Yeah, you know, there's something about negotiation which is very important. I happen to be a CIPM member, and you know, from I was in at a point I was in training and development department. The thing I've learned about life is, at times, you know, I'll use my practical life as a case study. Most of the time, when we want somebody to do something for us, what we do is we attack the person. And we keep criticizing the person and talking all sorts about the person. It doesn't help. That's what I've discovered. And as a married woman, it doesn't ever work. So what I've learned is negotiation. Now, when you have in the office, let me give you an example. When I want to raise something, or I want to change the narrative, I will go to each person that is involved. I will make friends with them, because I try as much as possible to make as many friends as possible. They are stakeholders. They are important. Their opinions count. So you go to people that know the people, negotiate with them, make friends with them, let them understand your point. Do you understand? And let them pass it on to the person that is involved. So when the person will see you and reason your opinion, you know, matters. Before you go and send mail and you start, you know, trying to do things. So what I'm saying in essence is, you will not be a full-time, being a politician doesn't mean you should go into full-scale politics. Jagaban Safety here is a full-time politician, because all he does is, when he comes, he will greet you, go here, go there. We can do such negotiations. So I think that one will help a lot to ensure that our politicians listen to us. Instead of us just firing shots at them and all that, we can make friends with them. We can get closer to the, you know, and move our agenda. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, on this note, we are going to be closing the curtain on the panelist session. Mrs. Olayinka Alabi, thank you very much for honoring our call. Ambassador Comfort, we appreciate your insights on some of the questions that we have asked. And Mr. David Adeoye, thank you very much. Thank you.